Love, this is a topic that each of us has experienced at least once, but do you really understand it? Why are some relationships so strong, while others fall apart easily? What if I told you that to make any woman fall in love, you don't need to chase, impress, or pretend? What if the secret isn't in your words, your looks, or your confidence, but in your silence, your calm, and your presence? This isn't a game of manipulation. It's a journey of self-mastery. Because when you understand love through the eyes of Stoic wisdom, you stop asking, how can I make her love me? And begin living the question, how can I become the kind of man love cannot ignore? Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where you will find valuable lessons and tips to help you build a truly lasting love. In today's video, we will explore how to win any woman over and make her fall in love with you, with real stories and insight. Don't miss the advice that can change the way you perceive and live in love. You will definitely feel more comfortable when you find a quiet place and put on your headphones. Let yourself relax and be ready to receive the positive messages in today's video. Are you ready to start this journey? Let's start together. Part 1, the Stoic Foundation of Attraction, Master Yourself First. Before you can win the heart of any woman, you must first win the quiet, inner battle within yourself. Attraction, at its deepest level, is not about looks, money, or charm, it's about presence. And presence begins with self-mastery. The Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, believe that the only thing truly within our control is ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Everything else, how others perceive us, how they respond, whether they stay or leave, is beyond our command. In love, this principle becomes your greatest strength. Because while most men chase, overthink, or try to impress, the Stoic man centers himself. Imagine walking into a room with quiet confidence. You are not desperate for attention, nor do you shrink into invisibility. You simply are. You don't seek validation because you already know your worth. This calm, grounded energy is magnetic. Women sense it immediately. It's the difference between a man trying to prove his value and a man who embodies it. A Stoic man understands that attraction is not a performance, it's a reflection. If you are anxious, needy, or insecure, those emotions radiate outward, and the world mirrors them back to you. But if you cultivate inner stillness, discipline, and gratitude, you project a sense of peace that makes others feel safe around you. And safety, paradoxically, is what ignites passion in a woman's heart. When she feels emotionally secure in your presence, her guard drops, and she allows her true self to emerge. To master yourself is not to suppress your emotions, it is to understand them. When jealousy arises, you don't let it dictate your behavior. When rejection comes, you don't crumble, you reflect. You ask, what is within my control right now? The Stoic answer is always the same, your response. The moment you stop being a slave to outcomes, you become irresistibly free. And freedom is the essence of masculine energy. Women don't fall for control, they fall for calm power. They fall for the man who can face uncertainty with grace, who remains composed when others lose their center. This kind of man doesn't chase love, he attracts it effortlessly. Before you can conquer her heart, you must conquer your own chaos. Before you can guide her emotions, you must learn to navigate your own storms. In the art of Stoic love, the first victory is always internal. Part 2, Understanding Female Nature Through Stoic Eyes, What Women Truly Desire Beyond Words. To win any woman's heart, you must first understand her, not in the shallow sense of memorizing what she likes or dislikes, but in the Stoic sense, understanding her nature. The Stoics taught that to live in harmony with the world, we must live in accordance with nature. The same is true in love. A woman's heart, her emotions, and her desires follow patterns rooted in the laws of human nature, not logic, but feeling. Most men make the mistake of approaching love like a transaction. If I do this, she'll love me. If I say that, she'll stay. But a Stoic knows that desire cannot be negotiated, it is evoked. You cannot make someone love you by force, words, or manipulation. You can only create the conditions for love to arise naturally, through authenticity, strength, and inner peace. Women, at their core, are emotional creatures. That does not mean they are irrational, it means they are attuned to energy more than logic. A woman can sense when a man is anxious behind his confidence. She can feel when your attention is desperate, not genuine. You cannot fake calmness, you must become calm. You cannot act strong, you must be strong. From a Stoic perspective, love is not about control but harmony. Just as a sailor doesn't control the sea but learns to navigate its waves, a man in love doesn't try to change a woman, he learns to understand and flow with her emotional rhythm. When she is distant, he remains steady. When she is passionate, he meets her energy without losing himself. This balance is deeply attractive because it communicates something rare, emotional security. Every woman, consciously or unconsciously, desires a man she can trust, not just physically, but emotionally. A man who won't collapse when she tests his patience. A man who won't withdraw when she expresses her feelings. The Stoics called this quality apatheia, not apathy, but the freedom from destructive emotion. It is the ability to stay composed in the storm. When you embody apatheia, you become her anchor. You don't silence her emotions, you create space for them. You don't try to fix her, you listen, observe, and respond with calm clarity. Over time, she begins to feel something rare in today's chaotic world, peace in your presence. And peace is the highest form of attraction. A woman doesn't fall for the man who talks the most or gives the most. She falls for the one who understands her without words, who sees beyond her beauty into her essence, and who remains unwavering when the world shakes. That is the Stoic lover's secret, not to conquer her, but to understand her nature so deeply that love becomes effortless. In love, sometimes we don't need too many promises, but just a little understanding and a heart that knows how to listen. It is the experiences, both happy and sad, that help us mature and know how to love more fully. Here, I want to contemplate those things with you, so that each step in the journey of love becomes more clear-headed and peaceful. If you feel that what I share is valuable, please click like to support this video. And if this is your first visit, please click subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss the next insightful perspectives on love. I also really want to hear from you. What do you like most about today's story? Leave a comment below, because who knows, your experience might be a great source of encouragement for someone else who is listening. And now, let's continue with me, exploring what's waiting ahead. Part 3, Emotional Discipline, the power that makes you irresistible. In the realm of attraction, few qualities are as powerful as emotional discipline. Most men believe that to win a woman's heart, they must be bold, expressive, even dramatic. But the Stoic man understands that the real magnetism comes from emotional control, not suppression, but mastery. Emotions are natural. They rise and fall like the tide. But reacting impulsively to every wave reveals weakness, not strength. A Stoic learns to observe his emotions instead of being ruled by them. When you can feel anger, desire, or jealousy without acting out of them, you become a force of stability in a world of chaos, and that stability is profoundly attractive. Imagine a woman confronting you with frustration or fear. Most men either argue or withdraw. The Stoic man listens calmly, maintaining his composure. He doesn't take her emotions personally, he recognizes them as passing storms. His peace becomes her peace. His steadiness reminds her that she is safe, even when she's overwhelmed. That's the paradox of attraction. When you stop trying to control the external, her mood, her choices, her affection, you begin to master the internal, and that mastery naturally influences the external. Women respect men who can remain centered in emotional turbulence because it reflects strength, maturity, and self-respect. Emotional discipline also applies to desire. The Stoics warn that uncontrolled desire leads to suffering because it places happiness in things beyond our control. In love, this means not hinging your worth on whether she texts you back or reciprocates your affection. You show interest, yes, but you remain unattached to the outcome. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you free. And freedom is irresistibly magnetic. The man who doesn't need a woman to feel whole is the one most capable of loving her deeply. Why? Because his love comes from abundance, not scarcity. His calm confidence says, "I choose you, but I do not depend on you for my peace." This silent message penetrates deeper than words. It's what every woman longs to feel but rarely experiences. The Stoic man's emotional discipline is not a shield to block love, it's the structure that allows love to thrive. When you can remain calm in the face of chaos, gentle in the face of anger, and still in the face of temptation, you embody something truly divine, mastery over self. And that, more than any charm or appearance, is what makes you unforgettable. Part 4, Authentic Masculinity, Becoming the Safe Haven She Can Trust. Every woman, no matter how strong or independent, seeks something in a man that she cannot find in herself, a sense of grounded safety. Not dominance. Not control. But masculine presence, the quiet strength that allows her to rest, to exhale, to feel seen and protected. In a world that confuses confidence with arrogance, the Stoic man redefines masculinity through virtue. He knows that real strength has nothing to prove. It does not shout, boast, or demand attention. It simply exists, firm, patient, consistent. A true man doesn't chase validation from women, he builds character, purpose, and integrity. These are the qualities that make him magnetic. A Stoic's masculinity is not about suppressing emotion but leading with wisdom. When a woman tests you emotionally, it's rarely about the surface argument, it's about seeking assurance of your strength. She unconsciously asks, "Can you handle my emotions without losing your center?" When you respond with calmness instead of anger, with understanding instead of defensiveness, she feels safe to trust you. That trust is the foundation of attraction. Masculine energy, at its highest level, is stability with compassion. The Stoic man doesn't need to dominate to feel powerful, his strength lies in restraint, in the quiet discipline of knowing when to speak and when to simply hold space. He doesn't use power to control a woman. He uses it to create safety for her softness to emerge. You see, when a woman feels safe, she becomes radiant. She blooms. Her feminine energy flows freely. And this isn't manipulation, it's harmony. The Stoics called this living in accordance with nature, each polarity expressing itself fully, yet balanced by the other. Masculinity protects without imprisoning. Femininity surrenders without losing dignity. To become this kind of man, you must live by values that don't waver under emotion, honor, discipline, patience, and purpose. You keep promises to yourself. You live by principle, not impulse. You don't chase every passing pleasure, you build a legacy worth loving. And when you live this way, women feel your energy before you even speak. You become the calm in their storm, the strength behind their softness. A Stoic man doesn't win a woman's heart by trying to impress her. He wins it by becoming the kind of man whose presence brings peace. That peace is what every woman unconsciously craves, and when she finds it in you, she'll never forget it. Part 5, The Power of Purpose, Why Women Fall for Men with Direction. A man without purpose drifts. A man with purpose leads. And in the eyes of a woman, there is nothing more attractive than a man who knows where he's going. The Stoics believed that virtue and purpose were the foundation of a meaningful life. To them, purpose wasn't about fame or wealth, it was about living in alignment with one's nature, fulfilling one's duty to self and the world. For a man in love, this means never losing himself in pursuit of another person. A Stoic man's heart may be tender, but his path remains firm. Women are drawn to direction. Not because they need to follow, but because purpose radiates strength. When a man has a clear vision, whether it's mastering his craft, serving others, or becoming a better version of himself, his energy becomes magnetic. His life feels anchored. His choices make sense. His presence inspires. In contrast, when a man's life revolves entirely around a woman, she feels it, and she withdraws. Not because she doesn't love him, but because she no longer feels his leadership. She no longer feels that masculine drive that first drew her in. You see, love thrives not when you need each other, but when you both walk your paths side by side, each strong, each purposeful, each complete. The Stoics taught that fulfillment is found not in pleasure, but in virtue, in action aligned with truth. So, if you wish to win a woman's heart, build a life worth sharing. Let your purpose be visible in the way you move, the way you speak, the way you make decisions. When your actions are rooted in discipline and meaning, she will sense that you are not a man lost in the crowd, you are a man on a mission. And that mission gives your love depth. A woman doesn't want to complete you, she wants to join you. She wants to feel that by being with you, her world expands. That your vision includes her, but does not depend on her. When she sees that your love enhances your purpose instead of replacing it, she feels both admiration and attraction. The Stoic man does not chase purpose to impress women, but paradoxically, that is what makes women gravitate toward him. He walks with direction, acts with intention, and speaks with conviction. His love is not a distraction, it's a reflection of his greater mission. And when a woman sees that kind of man, she doesn't just fall in love, she feels safe enough to dream with him. Part 6, The Art of Presence, Listening with Depth, Loving with Awareness. In a world of constant noise and distraction, presence has become rare, and therefore, irresistible. The Stoic lover knows that true connection doesn't come from words, but from attention. When you are with a woman, are you truly with her, or are you half lost in your own mind, waiting for your turn to speak, checking your phone, thinking about what to say next? Most men listen to reply. The Stoic man listens to understand. He observes not only her words but her tone, her eyes, her silence. He pays attention to what is not being said. And in that attention, a woman feels something profound, valued. Presence is not passive, it is powerful. It communicates without effort, you matter here. You are seen. You are safe. When a man gives his undivided attention, without judgment, without distraction, he builds emotional trust faster than any romantic gesture ever could. The Stoics practiced mindfulness long before the term existed. They taught awareness of the present moment as the key to peace. Applied to love, this means being fully engaged with your partner, listening, observing, and responding from a place of calm awareness. You are not trying to control the interaction, you are experiencing it. A woman can sense when you are fully there. Your presence slows her racing thoughts. It tells her that she can stop performing, stop pretending. In your stillness, she feels grounded. And this is the secret most men overlook: you don't need to say the perfect thing, you just need to be there, completely. When she talks, you don't rush to fix her problems. You let her express herself. You validate her feelings. You stay open, even when she's emotional. That kind of calm presence is intoxicating. It shows emotional maturity, the hallmark of a Stoic lover. True presence also means not being enslaved by your own desires. When you're with her, you're not thinking about how to impress or what to gain, you're simply there, sharing the moment. This level of awareness transforms ordinary interactions into intimacy. In a world where attention is fragmented, your full attention becomes sacred. And when a woman feels that your energy is nowhere else but with her, no distractions, no hidden agenda, she doesn't just notice you. She feels you. And that feeling, me, is what opens her heart. Love is actually like a mirror reflecting the inner self. When we are calm enough, we will realize that every challenge, every silence carries a valuable lesson. And that is what I want to convey through each story on this channel. If you feel that these shares bring value, please leave a like to support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe, because who knows, one day, just a small idea from these videos can change the way you look at love, at yourself. Let's continue with me, because there are many interesting things waiting for you to discover. Part 7, Detachment and Desire, How Stoic Men Love Without Losing Themselves. To the untrained heart, love and attachment seem identical. But the Stoics knew there is a sacred difference. Attachment is rooted in fear, the fear of losing, of not being enough, of being abandoned. Love, in its purest form, is rooted in freedom. A Stoic man loves deeply, but not desperately. He gives his affection, his loyalty, and his presence, yet he remains whole even when love is not returned. This doesn't make him cold, it makes him unbreakable. He understands that to truly love someone is to honor their freedom, not to possess them, but to appreciate them as they are, even if they choose a path without you. Modern relationships often crumble because people confuse love with control. They say, "I can't live without you," and believe it's romantic. But the Stoic knows this is emotional slavery. To say you can't live without someone is to admit you've lost command of yourself. Love should enrich your life, not consume it. Epictetus once said, "Never say about anything, 'I have lost it,' but only, 'I have returned it.'" In love, this means, if someone leaves, you haven't lost them, you've simply returned them to life's flow. Gratitude remains, bitterness fades. This mindset transforms heartbreak into wisdom. You stop chasing closure because you already have it within yourself. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means you love with open hands. You give freely without the expectation of reward. You don't seek to own her heart, you earn her trust, day by day, through consistency, patience, and presence. And paradoxically, the more detached you are from outcome, the more magnetic you become. Because women can feel when a man loves from strength rather than need. When you are no longer afraid to lose someone, you become someone they never want to lose. That's the paradox of Stoic love, the more you let go, the deeper the bond grows. Because your love is no longer about possession, it's about truth. You don't cling, you connect. You don't demand, you inspire. A Stoic lover knows that everything in life, even love, is borrowed from time. So he cherishes the present moment without trying to trap it. His heart remains open, yet untangled. His love is not fragile, it's eternal in spirit, even if temporary in form. Part 8, The Power of Silence, Speaking Less, Meaning More. There is a quiet power that every Stoic man learns to master, the power of silence. Not the silence of ignorance or fear, but the silence of inner confidence. A man who does not rush to fill every pause with words carries a mystery that draws people closer. He speaks when necessary, and when he does, his words matter. In today's world of endless chatter, where people overshare emotions and opinions, silence has become a mark of strength. The Stoic man understands that silence is not emptiness, it's space. Space to think before reacting. Space to feel before speaking. Space for others to reveal who they truly are. When you practice silence in love, you become observant. You start to notice the small things, the shifts in tone, the subtle looks, the unspoken needs. You no longer rush to fix or persuade. You let understanding arise naturally. A woman feels this difference immediately. She feels your patience, your awareness. She feels safe, not judged. There's something deeply masculine about a man who can sit in silence comfortably. He doesn't fear stillness because his mind is at peace. He doesn't fear pauses in conversation because his value doesn't depend on constant performance. When he speaks, his words carry weight, they come from thought, not impulse. Silence also protects your power. When you talk too much about your goals, emotions, or intentions, you dilute their energy. The Stoics taught that a man should act more than he speaks, for action reveals truth far more than words. If you want to impress a woman, don't talk about how strong or loyal or disciplined you are, be those things quietly. Let your actions whisper what your mouth need not say. In relationships, silence can heal more than arguments can. When emotions rise, the Stoic man doesn't match her volume, he lowers his tone, or says nothing at all. His calm silence communicates strength and respect. And in that space, peace returns. A woman who feels your silence isn't cold, she feels your depth. She senses that you are not easily shaken, not reactive, not needy. She feels that your stillness is her sanctuary, and that's when she begins to trust you on a soul level. True love doesn't always need words. Sometimes, the quiet presence of a Stoic heart speaks louder than any promise. Part 9, The Balance of Strength and Tenderness, the dual power that captivates every woman. Many men misunderstand masculinity. They believe that to be strong, they must be hard, that vulnerability is weakness, and emotions are dangerous. But Stoicism, when truly understood, teaches otherwise. It teaches balance, that true power lies not in rejecting emotion, but in integrating it with reason and compassion. The Stoic man is strong, yes, but not unfeeling. His strength is steady, not aggressive. His tenderness is sincere, not submissive. He can stand firm in his beliefs, yet remain gentle with those he loves. This paradox, strong yet kind, calm yet passionate, is what captures a woman's heart at the deepest level. Women are not drawn to perfect men, they are drawn to whole men, men who can be fierce in protection yet soft in affection. A man who can hold his ground in conflict, but still reach out his hand afterward with understanding. A man whose eyes show both discipline and empathy. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the highest good, and love is one of its purest expressions when guided by virtue. Love, to a Stoic, is not blind passion. It's a conscious choice to act with kindness, honesty, and courage. So when you show strength through consistency and tenderness through empathy, you live love as the Stoics intended, not as a weakness, but as a form of wisdom. To a woman, tenderness in a strong man feels like safety wrapped in warmth. It tells her, you're safe here. You can be yourself. When she senses that you can be both protector and poet, both warrior and listener, she feels something rare, a harmony of energies that speaks to her soul. A Stoic man never fears to show affection. He doesn't withhold it to seem powerful, nor does he give it recklessly. He gives love deliberately, from a place of strength. He can say, I love you, and mean it fully, not because he needs her to respond, but because his love itself is an act of virtue. When you embody both strength and tenderness, you stop being just a man she admires, you become a man she feels deeply safe to love. And that, me, is what every woman truly desires, not perfection, but peace wrapped in passion. Part 10, The Stoic Way of Love, Love Without Possession, Lead with Peace. In the end, to win a woman's heart is not to conquer it, but to earn it through your character. The Stoic path in love is not about strategy, it's about transformation. You don't attract her by pretending to be something you're not. You attract her by becoming the man you were always meant to be. The Stoic lover doesn't chase validation. He doesn't beg for affection or play emotional games. He loves with clarity, freely, courageously, and without attachment to outcome. He understands that every connection is a gift, not an entitlement. If she stays, he is grateful. If she leaves, he remains whole. His peace is never up for negotiation. This is the heart of Stoic wisdom in love. To give without losing yourself. To care without clinging. To desire without dependency. To love without fear. When you live this way, your relationships stop being battles of control and become dances of harmony. You become the calm in her chaos, the consistency in her uncertainty. She feels your presence not as pressure, but as peace. You no longer try to make her fall for you, she simply does, because your energy feels like home. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to love." A Stoic man carries this awareness into every interaction. He doesn't take love for granted. He doesn't rush it or force it. He honors it, nurtures it, and lets it grow naturally. To live and love the Stoic way is to understand that love is not something you win, it's something you become worthy of. You don't need to conquer hearts when your own heart is already conquered by peace, purpose, and virtue. And when you reach that state, Mimi, you realize the secret truth. You never had to chase love at all. You simply had to become it. Conclusion. The Stoic secret to captivating her heart. In the end, love is not a conquest. It is not a strategy, nor a game of attraction. It is a mirror, reflecting who you are when the world grows quiet. The Stoic path in love is not about learning to control her, it is about mastering yourself. When you do, you stop chasing affection and begin radiating peace, and peace is irresistible. Women are not drawn to perfection. They are drawn to presence. To the man who walks with purpose, speaks with sincerity, listens with depth, and loves with balance. The man who can face rejection without bitterness, success without arrogance, and passion without losing his center. That man does not seek love, he embodies it. A Stoic lover understands that love is not measured by possession but by freedom. He gives his heart willingly, without fear of loss. He knows that every moment shared, every glance exchanged, is a gift from time, and so he cherishes it fully, yet lightly. His love is strong because it is rooted not in need, but in virtue. When you learn to govern your emotions, to pursue your purpose, to love without clinging, and to stay still amid chaos, you become magnetic. You no longer have to convince a woman to love you, she simply will, because your energy feels like truth. The Stoic man does not win her heart through control or charm. He wins it by being what every heart secretly seeks. A safe, grounded, peaceful presence in a noisy world. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. Hopefully the sharing about love and lessons from this video will help you have new thoughts and find empathy. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share with those around you. Each of us has our own stories about love, and I'm happy to explore them with you. See you in the next videos. Wishing you a wonderful day filled with love.